Hi guys, welcome to Clearly Homemade Saturday night live event. That's Bruce. My husband is at the store currently getting things that we need for my son's birthday next week. I'm making cake and we're doing a whole bunch of stuff. And of course they never have, yes, you're getting a 6-layer rainbow cake in 6 different colors. You're gonna have vanilla frosting that's blue, and he's gonna have some Capway stuff on it. It's gonna be great. So for this tutorial, we have Bruce, which is fine. Let's see here. So let me go ahead and get this video shared, and then we're gonna get started on making this galactic cabochon. So excited. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna share it a few times. I should have my clay. I finally got it, so it's not ridiculous. This was that bad black clay that I had. I don't know what happened. It decided to be fine. For those of us who joined yesterday, this is that terrible white clay that didn't want to work. I got this to work too, so I'm really excited about it. And I'm still mushing this around because there's like little bits in it. But for this kind of thing, you can use any color clay you want. I find it easier to use black since we're going to be using a lot of mica powder on it, because the sky's or the galaxy's dark, so we're going to put big color on top of it. And I wanted to show you guys that it doesn't make a difference what cabochon you have as long as it's domed, because it gives you the more intense look to it. It magnifies what's underneath. So we're going to do a bunch of little ones, and then we'll get to that in just 3 minutes. Hi, Kristen. So let me go ahead and get this video shared. I was just literally on the phone with my husband trying to find a good recipe for strawberry cake. I don't like box cake, but this one was going to do strawberry in a box, and apparently the store he went to doesn't carry strawberry cake in a box for whatever reason, which is silly in my opinion. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to get this video shared a few times, and then we're going to do this. And yes, Bruce will be joining us the entire time.
And this is me. I'm a handsome. I get cakes.
He's handsome when he gets cakes. You like this? It's pretty awesome.
Because I'm a good boy.
He's a very good boy.
And I cry.
You cry? You do sometimes. He cries. He does.
And I'm a big boy.
You are. But we're going to be quiet, right?
Okay.
Thanks. Okay, and then for those who saw in the group, we got a new vinyl in. Really, really excited. Yeah, see, I'm not doing, the rainbow cake is not going to be the checkerboard. I did see that. I don't have the kit for it. I have no idea how to do that. I don't even want to get involved with something like that. But I do have the mini pans. It's a stack of 4 pans. And then I'm going to do the different layers for the cake using food coloring. Should have enough food coloring. But let me go ahead. I'm going to get this run through the machine one more time before we officially start. Remember the issue I was having with, I can swirl it. Nah, I don't want to do the swirl. I wanted to do the individual, so when you cut into it, I wanted that kind of cake.
Yep, this is me.
Because when I swirl, listen, Linda, the issues that I have with the mica powder, I'm not gonna do that with that. Okay. Should have asked him to pick different white. Whatever. Okay, everyone's gonna but we're already on the phone, so I can't do that. Okay.
Yep.
Let me go ahead and make this a little thinner. One more roll through. I have a decent amount of black. Voila. Okay, great. And then we have some, we're gonna do a little bit at a time. And of course, I did clean up, but clearly enough. Excuse me, are we making all this noise? Okay, we don't do that. Or you're gonna go in the living room, okay? Trying to be mom here. Okay, great, 5 o'clock. Hi, folks. Thank you for joining me tonight with Clearly Homemade's Saturday Night Live event. Tonight, we will be doing our first ever live tutorial. I will give you a step-by-step guide on how I make something. And in this case, we're doing the galactic cabochon. Now, I'm pretty sure in quite a few videos, I show you what I do as I'm doing it. And I do like to give that mini explanation, but this is officially a tutorial. I'm not going to give you a 20-minute monologue on why we should be doing a tutorial or not. So, okay. Make this official. The first thing that you want to do whenever you do anything like this is painting. We're going to be using the Apple Barrel Gloss Outdoor Indoor 20621E white. Okay, I'm going to shake this up. You want to get your paint done first because although it is acrylic, you do still have to wait for it to dry. And what I'll be using today is this. I have, trying to think which one's smaller. There we go. Okay. So these are great tools. You don't have to use this. You can actually use the back of a paintbrush if you want to. You can use the back of a paintbrush if you want to. It's perfectly fine. I like using these because I have them. So we're going to get started on, we're going to make this one first. They're all the same. Okay. They're all the same. Sugar lights. All of it's the same. And if you mess up, it's fine. Just wipe it off and do it again. Okay. I'm going to go paint all over me. So you go ahead, you dab it in. And what we're going to be doing, the only thing we're going to be painting are stars. So imagine what the galaxy looks like and put stars in. You know, big dots. And the neat thing is, you don't have to keep stopping and putting paint on it, because as you use it, you can obviously turn it around and stuff, but you're going to get little dots too. So whatever you want to do, but just whatever dots, nothing crazy. You can, even if there's a little mess up, it's okay. I mean, we're looking at dots. We're looking at balls of gas burning far, far, far away. And you're going to see a glare here. Oh, and I have decided for my birthday, I'm going to be buying myself a nice webcam. Or an okay one, better than this. So we're going to be able to see a lot better, you know, with what we're doing. You don't have to have a lot of stars. I do like having a lot of little dots. Here. If it's too much, just go ahead, dap it somewhere else. And then go. I'm going to get little dots in here. There you go. See? Nice little dots. Now, I like doing it just across the middle. Can't really see it. See a little bit? There you go. So I used a roller pen, or just the back. Literally, you can just use, literally, I'm going to say literally 1,000 more times today because that's how I'm feeling. You can use the back of a paintbrush. See? There's just a spot there. You can use the head of an eye pin if you really want to. Whatever you want, just as long as you get the dots. And that's what you want to do first. So it gives you a chance to go ahead and paint. Okay? That is the worst part in my opinion. I'm going to do the big one too. This one you can do a lot more. I'm trying to think the best way to do something this big. You know what? I think that's a little bit too much for me today. I'll do this one. This is 25 centimeters. This is ½ an inch, I think. Maybe it's an inch. I think this is an inch. Maybe that's, I don't know. I don't know sizing. I just have them. I apologize. I will get the sizing later. Okay, so we're going to do dots again. And tap it right onto the glass. Okay, another thing too. When you do this, should have done this first. I'm terrible at tutorials. This is a cabochon. Okay. When you do a cabochon, cabochon is a piece of glass that is domed. See that? Nice dome. You can get this effect with resin, multi-dimensional magic, the Mod Podge stuff. I think it's by plate. A bunch of different ways. I prefer glass. You can bake it, paint it, do whatever you want with it. Glass is amazing. Okay. And these are really cheap too. So when you look at the cabochon, you're going to see there's a dome on one side and flat on the other. We are painting on the flat part. The reason being is that, one, if you paint it on the top part, then you're going to be able to rub it off. Two, it provides a magnifying effect. So whatever little dot you put on is going to be much bigger on the other side. So that's why we're going to do on the inside. I apologize for not doing this. I probably should start the live video all over again, but whatever. I'm already here. Okay, so we're going to do dots. Remember, we have a bigger space that we get to work with, so we can do more bigger dots. We need more dots. Okay, my child is trying to get his face into the webcam. I just want you to know this. He's rubbing on me like a cat. And the answer is no. Be careful when you do this. If you have a glare, you won't be able to see where you put your white dots at. Let me get the little dots here. Okay. If you don't like it, you can always rub it off and do it again. Look at that. A lot of white dots. Great. Okay, we're going to just do 2 for right now, and then we can do more later. Because it's acrylic paint, it is very quick. Okay. Whenever I do this, I make sure I have a picture of something that looks like what I'm doing. So in this case, I would go ahead and look up an image of, so Galaxy, I think I have one already set up. Galaxy Art, I guess that would work. And then you would go ahead and you would bring a picture up and you would follow said picture. That is it. That's the easy part, is finding the one that you like. That's actually really cool too. I don't know if we're going to do that. That might be a little too much for me. Okay, so we're going to do something simple. I will try to share the image with you. I can probably share it now. I'm going to bring up the website. Oh, this one will show up. Wonderful. Okay, so we copy the image. I'm going to paste it right in here. Oop, hitting everything. No, it doesn't want to copy paste. Well, that's silly. There we go. This is Google image. Might come up the right way. It probably won't. Nope. That's terrible. Okay, I tried. So I'm following a design here. Not sure. I think that would be better. I like doing a few different colors with this. I really wish I could find the one that I had before, because that was really nice. Nice and easy to follow. I apologize. I'm totally not prepared. Okay, we're going to try this one instead. So, oops, dropping everything. Oh my goodness. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So you got the dots. Oops. The paint is not doing too much. Wonderful. You got everything. It's a little bit. Okay, we're still doing okay. So you want to get something, you have an extra. You see pretty much the idea that you're going to be working on. When I do it, I have a tendency of making it too big, which means you're not going to get a lot of the design in the middle. So we're going to pull this over here. Pull this off. We're going to use this little piece right there. So we're going to make the design to go around here. Now, a galaxy is purple, blue, white, no green, and with a lot of dots. So we're going to look at this one here. We have purple, blue, and black. You want to make sure you see some of the black in the background, which is why we're using the black clay. So let's go ahead and I'm going to get a paintbrush, something like this, something that just, nothing too big. So if you use something like this, it's going to be way, way too big. So let me see if I can get an even smaller one. Okay, there we go. A nice fluffy paintbrush. I washed all my brushes. We're going to be botting just like this. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is blue. Actually, no, I'm just kidding. We're going to do the middle first. Middle is a lighter color. That's why we have the stars in the middle. We don't want it too light, though. We definitely want it light. Let's go ahead and grab the white that I want. Okay, I'm using 651 Pearl White. This is by PearlEx. Open this up. We got some nice white. You don't want a lot of white. Remember, it's going to do white, and then we're going to bring open the blue and the purple. So white in the middle, just like that. Not a lot of white. I'm going to smush it. There we go. There is no wrong way of doing this. None at all. A little bit more white. I like using the mica powder because it's going to add a little bit more sparkle to it. Okay. Next color we can use is whatever choice you want. I'm going to do a little bit of blue. Let me see here. Let's put a little bit, about the blue a little bit. Put it right over the white. Just a little bit of blue. Blue on both sides. Not too much blue. I'll do light. Okay. Actually, this might be a little bit too big for this. So already we're not going to really see a lot of it, you know. So we might be using it for this one instead, which I think would probably work a little bit better. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab some purple. Just using the lid. Okay, so the blue that I use is the Black Diamond, Deep Blue Sea. The purple I'm using is also Black Diamond. It's called Purple Haze. So very, very beautiful colors. These are the colors that I've been using on the leaves that you see. Same colors. And of course they're green, which is the emeralds. Okay, so we're going to do a little purple. I'm going to spat it a little bit right there.
Yes.
I'm going to put it right here.
What?
Okay, you can kind of see, it looks like a galaxy a little bit right there. A little bit maybe. Okay, and then we have some pinks. I don't know why this person used pinks. I had a pink somewhere around here. There it is. This is Flamingo Pink, 684. Let's see how it looks. So it's a good pink. So here we go. Now normally when I do something like this, I have it up closer so I can, you know, see the colors a little bit. We're gonna add a little bit of pink right here at the bottom. Maybe move it around a little bit. Push the colors around. But you're seeing the different colors here.
You do?
Yeah, you see the different colors.
Yeah. That's so cool. It's a real rock.
There we go.
It's a real dark.
Okay, so another color that I want to use is, I got this off of Wish. This is called Born Pretty. I have no idea the color. I apologize. However, it is a really cool mix of pink, blue, and purple. It's like galaxy colored.
It does.
And this is very, 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 very sparkly. So when you do it, I'm going to lightly bounce it right around there. But that right there, guess what? You're done. I'm just kidding. That's the best part. I think it's the most fun part. You can go a little crazier. My favorite mica powders to use lately are the interference colors. I don't know why they're called that, but it gives you the overlay of the color in question. Like this interference blue, purple, red. I mean, probably a whole bunch of them, but I have a few that I use. And I've been using them on my leaves to give it the tone of what I'm looking for. So let's go ahead. Now this is already done. Remember, it's acrylic, so it's going to be really fast.
Yes.
Go ahead and put it like that.
That's not
Here, let me go ahead and pull this up. I'm going to use my tissue blade.
What's a tissue blade?
It's a thin blade.
What's a thin blade?
There we go.
Does it cut anything? What does it cut?
I can use it to cut stuff. So we're going to pick it up. Oh, look at that. I'm going to make sure.
So
Can you see any of that?
That's sparkly.
Okay. I'm going to make sure that the silver that I did was in the middle. It's actually pretty cool by itself.
Yes.
Right.
That is mine.
All right, pretty neat.
Is.
There you go. Oh, man, I can't wait for a new webcam. It looks so nice. So we're going to put this right here in the middle. Okay, all that beautiful work that we did. We want to make sure that we're seeing a little bit. I really have to make this smaller. Okay, so, but that's it. That's how you would do something like this. So I just discovered, because I'm silly, if you press down like that, you pop it off. And you have the imprint to it, and this is what you're going to want to work with. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to play with it a little bit more. We're going to put on,
What?
we'll try this again. So we now know this is the middle. Put the white on a little bit more. And it's okay that you're putting mica powder on top of mica powder. Okay, there's nothing wrong with doing that. We're now getting darker to where we're getting closer to where we're doing in color. You can always cover up your mica powder with a different one. It adds a nice extra feel to it. I like layering mica powders myself, as we know from many things that I've done. I believe it's interesting to layer the mica powder because you're getting different color combinations you wouldn't normally get otherwise. And I apologize that you're hearing my laptop. People want to tag me and stuff while I'm doing this. Okay, so we're going to get purple over here. We're going to keep toward that middle right there. The reason why I have such a big piece around it is because you can't just have the glass sit on top of the clay. It won't adhere. So you got to make it a little bit bigger, and then we'll go from there. We're going to put a little bit of purple right up top here. Get the idea of that. There we go. Purple, good. We're still looking good on color, you know. It's not terrible. Let me get that pink. I really liked how that pink looked. Pink right over here.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna get a little bit more. I do have something to bop out the brush, but I don't want to right now. So here we go. Cover that white. Okay, there we go. Okay, so you still want to get the different colors. So I'm gonna take this thing, the brush I was talking about before. Just push it around a little bit. Okay, now, you know, we like that a little bit better. So let's go ahead. Take any tool that you want, and you're gonna cut around it.
Why? That's how you make a thing. You cut one round.
So this turns into scrap clay, but I mean, because it's black, you're not gonna really see a lot of the color. I mean, I have a whole bunch of ones that are like this. You can always add more color to it, which is nice. And this is a little lighter than I like, but it's one of those days. Okay. Good. Add this on. You take a little bit. I'm gonna roll it over. Unless you're silly like me. Yeah, I didn't do this right. That's okay. We're gonna have a bunch of other ones that we get to try. It's just gonna fall off like that. Okay. You see? So let's try this again. It's okay. I'm showing you what not to do, right? Right. Okay. We still have more of that black. The back of it has a nice mica powder color to it, which is nice. I think it's pretty. Okay. So first, go ahead, squish it down. We want to do indentation. So let's take this. This is where we don't want to go past with the mica powder, otherwise it won't be able to roll over. I'm not sure the issue that I have. Let's try this again. Wow, it's stuck. There we go. Look, it even shows where the dots are. Great. Nice impression right there. So let's go with the white again. And then, you know what? Let's try something a little different, you know, since we're restarting the whole thing. We're going to do the blue, the purple right back here. And then we're going to do the purple right up here. Okay, remember, we don't want to put it outside the circle. And we're trying this new. Let's see if this works best. What are you doing? Sorry, my child is not watched. Well, he's in the craft room. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to use this thing I have. I don't want, so I'm seeing the color here when you do it to the side. Let me do the pink. I want the white to not have any extra added to it. There we go. Put pink right onto it. And then now we're going to do the white. So now we're going to make sure the brush is completely cleared off because you want the white to be by itself. Right in the middle. Okay, a little bit more, not too much, just enough. Okay, good. There we go. Now we already made the impression of it, so let's go ahead and bring that down. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay, now take this, you're going to fold it over like a sandwich. And if it wants to fold over, it's great. Okay, lift this up. Now what you want to do, it's okay if it smears a little bit, you know. I'm going to make sure that the clay is going to be firmly onto the glass. If it's not, you go ahead and you pull it off. You want just enough so it's not going to fall off. Because if you want to go ahead, like let's say for instance after you're done with it and you realize the glass is just popping off, and you're going to put glue on it, you're not going to get the same effect because you're going to see the glue under the glass. That's why it's very important that you do this. Now, if you're having the issue that I'm having right now, with the clay not wanting to stay on. You can always add an extra piece onto the bottom of it. Just do a very thin piece, and then you can fold it over. Now I have no idea what I'm doing with any of these at all. There we go. I'll show you the finished work in just a moment. It looks really nice. Okay, so let me go ahead. I am going to do that thin piece that I did mention. So let me bring this down to an 8 on the pasta machine. Super, super thin. Remember, just adding another layer to it. I like to do very thin layers. See, very, very thin. Okay, go like this, put it around it, and tear it off. You don't have to do anything fancy like putting it down, so it's just going to come right back up. Actually, this is probably the best way to do it, just to do the little extra to it. That way, your design is staying in place. Now you can make this as crazy as you want or as simple as you want. See, it's fully covered. Okay, this is the important part. Now you can take the clay then, and you can do a design around it if you want, or you can be like me and be like, nope, just cut it all off. Nothing about clay or about glass. So you can use tools like this and not have to worry that the tool is going to cut glass. There we go. Wonderful. I could use something else, but I like using this for some reason.
You do?
Okay.
You do?
I do.
What do you like?
Let's see. I'm still having a little bit of a problem. That's fine. I think the other ones were like that too, likes to slide, because it's a lot of mica powder. Okay, so now you can always go ahead and sandpaper it off afterwards. Just as long as nothing's coming off. You can wire wrap it if you want to afterwards as well. You just want to have that layer that stays. Okay, ready?
As long as you bring about spice,
and then don't forget, you can use rubbing alcohol to take a mica powder off. It does not damage the clay, which is amazing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean off the glass so we have a better look to it. I'm using rubbing alcohol. Shiny the glass. Paper towel. And there we go. It actually looks pretty neat. Next time I would do the dots a little smaller. You know, I would probably make let me see if I can take a picture.
Can be big.
Let's see what I get.
Big and strong.
Can you share? No, that sharing is, I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to see if I can take a picture. And then, so I can really show you guys what this looks like. Because it is pretty, came out really nice. Let's see. Sorry, my phone's a little slow. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, try to go over string.
With a mica powder, you really want to, yeah, no, I'm not going to be able to do it. You're going to really want to show it as like, go like this when you're doing it, not just a still picture. It doesn't want to share a picture. Okay, well, we're going to show it afterwards then. That'll probably be best. Okay. Oh, dropping everything.
Why?
I am. Okay, there we go. So that's it. So it's the same thing, but we have different, the smallness to it. Next time I'm going to add a little bit more black to it. So let's see about something. This has not been put in the oven yet. As you can tell, it's very thin. Clay around it. See, not a whole lot. And now I want to do the big piece. Or the little piece. I don't know. You know what you can do with the little pieces? If you really like the color behind it, you can make like a bigger star. You know what? Let me see that other picture I was looking at. Rubbing alcohol everywhere now.
Why?
There was one that I saw that looks like that. So we're going to try it for that. Okay, mix this up. Put this to the side. Now I still have the bigger pieces here. I'm gonna cut off a piece. We're gonna smush this because we're gonna use this guy this time. This time we're gonna do something a little different. It's gonna require a few different colors. Okay. So now that we have him, that's what I want. One of my tools. I'm gonna go around it just so we have an idea. I've never used this tool before, clearly. There we go.
Thanks. What did you do?
And then we're gonna go ahead and get this lifted up.
You come around it?
No, I'm not cutting it. I'm giving it what the heck?
What
Class stuff. This is ridiculous.
is?
I guess the cabochon doesn't want to come off. Okay, this is a big cabochon.
Is?
It's, okay, I'm gonna have to redo this. Oh! Oh my goodness.
It's a suit white.
No,
on
it's
the
still fine.
front.
See? Look at that. Whoop. Still fine. Great.
This suit.
So we're gonna wash this, clear this off. The clay really was stuck there. That's pretty awesome. I do not believe that the suction occurs after baking, because when it comes to this, like, this is very difficult to pull off. But after it's baked, it pops off. You know, like a pop socket, but less suction. So we're gonna go ahead and try something a little different. This time I'm gonna do a bigger design since we have a bigger piece to work with. You have to have zero artistic creativity to do so. Just follow the picture. So the design we're doing is going to have something in the middle and then go around across, okay? So we're going to have these not just centered around here, but as if there's something in the middle. And because it's a bigger one, so you can wipe it off. Okay, let's see about doing something bigger. Okay, we got that. Go. Remember, I'm just using plain gloss white paint. Nothing fancy. Okay, I'm gonna take stuff out the middle. It's already starting to dry off. Use your thumbnail, cotton swab, whatever you want. Take off the pieces that you don't like. Of course, then all of them want to do that, of course. So, rubbing alcohol dries pretty fast, so we're gonna go ahead and redo this whole thing. See? Happens all the time. I have had to redo those dragon eyes so much, it's ridiculous. Okay, we're gonna want to go around. Be nice if there'd be an easier way of doing this, but there's not, and I don't know of any brush that I can do this with, because I've tried it. You know, I do have something I did just, let's see if this works. I have tried to use this brush for other things, and it never works. Yeah, now we're gonna get. You know what, let's try something. I'm using a fan brush. I don't know if that's going to work right. No. Okay, that's fine. Hello, evil cat. It's Michelle's evil cat. Because that's her name. If you want to, another one you can use is one of these tools. The rubber tip at the bottom. I have a little bit bigger. No, it's about the same. Then you end up having that separation there. Yeah, I usually end up redoing. See? I'm back to the redo. Let me see if I can get a different ball. bigger maybe. My child is now unwinding a thing of thread.
Yep.
Please don't do that. I have bigger balls here. You can use different sizes.
You can?
Each one's supposed to represent a star. That's what each, or a planet, or a galaxy. So you want to have some fun with it. I like this a little bit better, how this is looking. Okay, remember we want to keep that look to it. See, it's giving me those little dots that I wanted, because there's more room on it to work. Now, somebody said that one of these looked like an eyeball. I said, that's an interpretation, right? I'm making beholders. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
How long is that going to be here soon?
I don't know, buddy. You gotta buy a lot of stuff for your cake and your shirts
Can I have my cake?
next week.
Washing this,
Please don't make that noise. Okay, look at that. Nice dots. Actually, that came out really, really well. I'm glad it took 4 times to do that. Oh, Evil Cat is deaf, so we're not going to say hello. Okay, so these are our circle, the rounds part that we're doing here. So the part that's different with this one is we're going to be using some different colors. We're going to have the light blue on the back, on the round here. We're going to do it as light as we can. We're going to have some white, some yellow, and some orange. Now, if I could find my yellow, which I had out here before. This is brilliant gold, but I want more of a yellow. I think this one down here is. What's this one? That's the interference there. That's bright yellow. So I don't have a white mica powder. I don't even know if they make it. I have the pearl white. This time, though, I want a darker color that's in the middle. You can't get the darker colored mica powder just by brushing. I mean, you can, but you're always going to have a lighter tint to it. So we're going to go use my finger. And we're going to do that. That's it. A little dot. Right in the middle. Great. And then the surrounding color is yellow.
Yellow. Yellow's my favorite color.
No, it's not. It's red. There we go. And I'm going to bop some yellow around it.
Red is my favorite color.
Okay. And then we're going to bop some orange, but I don't have orange. I do have super copper, and I do have the red russet. So let's see about using a little bit of red russet. And that's what we're going to use to mix the colors. That's why I didn't smear them in. We're going to mix them like this. Don't do that, please. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to start doing the purple or the blue around it.
Yeah.
Look out, please. You don't want to mix these colors right now. So we're going to do, I'm trying to remember how big it is around. Okay, we're almost to the point where we cannot do too much more. So we're going to go right on the outside. We're going to do blue.
Yeah.
And I'm not, as you notice, I am putting the brush directly onto the clay. I'm not or going quick. I want to make sure we have a nice deep blue color. Make sure that we're going to move this a little bit over here. I'm looking at my picture and I'm realizing that I made this a little bit too dark like that. But we're going to do some blue there. And I'm going to do this a little bit so I can smear it. For something like this, since I want to keep the black on the outside, I'm going to smear up. And smear down. Okay, that's not doing what I wanted to do. Like this. If you find yourself with the color being a little incorrect like this, what you can do, once again, you can do you do rubbing alcohol, which I'm going to do right now because I didn't like how far it came out here. Let's take rubbing alcohol. And whatever you want, you can just wipe it right off. Now, when it comes to wiping it off, though, you are going to have to re-smear or re-fix whatever it is that you were working on. And I noticed I did lose some color there, which I didn't want to lose. So I'm going to have to redo with the yellow. Just so you know, you don't have to just do stars. You can do whatever color you want. So if you want to go ahead and do like the star, you want to paint the galaxy and then do the stars on here, you can. You can do whatever you want with that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. And once it's dry, we're going to start again on the extra stuff. Okay, see, it's already drying. Now. Yes, but you have to put it on yourself. So we have that issue with too much blue. So let's go ahead. We're going to do a little bit of the yellow. Goes around like that. I'm going to look at what it looks like. It's not exactly what I had in mind, but you know what? It's whatever. Okay, let me get. Let's try a little bit of sparkle gold. There we go. We have a nice lighter color to it. Okay, we're gonna do some we're gonna use the interferences. Since that, okay, I have interference gold here, interference blue. I don't know what that was. Interference blue. Yes, I'm okay, thank you. Here we go. Now, interference blue. That's purple, almost. Okay, so there, this gold, this is bright yellow, PearlEx 685, bright yellow. This here is interference blue, 671, also PearlEx. I'll put this right on the outside. Now, I like using interference blue for my opal stuff when I was doing opaling. I thought it was really pretty. That's actually what I wanted. Okay. Now it's starting to look a little bit better. So I'm starting to feel a little bit better about this with the interference. Let me get the interference gold into this. This is interference gold 674 PearlEx. Look at your tablet watching. Okay. And then we're going to put that right in the middle. Lighten this up a little bit. Okay, good. That's looking a little bit better. Let me see this on the thing. Let me go ahead and take a look.
I can't put on there, also I put my own.
Okay, so we get a little bit darker. I'm going to have a little bit more of a ball of color in the middle. So what I can do for something like that is I can actually paint whatever color I want. I'm not going to do that because I like my colors like this. Let me see if I can get a little bit more yellow in the middle.
Mommy, I saw something
Excuse me.
outside. I think
Excuse me, please. He needs a nap.
you
Kind of looks like an egg. Kind
does.
of have it tilted. It's supposed to look like this, not like this.
It
It's
doesn't.
like not this. I know. I'm looking at the picture here, but I seem to have tilted a little bit. So let me add a little bit more of a little white.
See, lemons can pick up this. Watch, they can stick to this.
Okay, gold, white. Where's my interference blue? Ah, I lost my color. Did you touch any of my colors?
No. What do you mean?
Oh, here it is. Okay.
It's right there. I didn't touch that.
Brighten it up a little bit. I need to have a more definite color here. We can probably add a little bit of yellow clay. Look out, please. A little bit of clay that's right there. What I'm doing right now is
What's that? So I heard noise.
if you do something like this, then what you can do. That's not gonna look right either. So I think the best thing to do, smush this back down, is we can take a Q-tip, the rubbing alcohol. If you want a more of a solid color,
Wow,
you should remove whatever it is that you did there.
It was funny. Wait, that was a little funny.
That's a little funny.
Yeah. It was creepy as
Apparently I
heck.
have color everywhere now.
It doesn't
So,
look
excuse me.
It doesn't look
Excuse
like
me.
an owl.
That's supposed to be an owl.
It looks scary.
Okay. You're going to do a little bit of yellow. Brighten up this little bit of yellow right there. Okay. I'm going to take the Interference Gold and put it right there. Okay, good. And then we're going to take, there's a little bit of orange, so let's go ahead with the Super Copper.
What's a super copper?
It's a color.
It's a color. What's a color? Yeah.
An identifying mark on something.
You did?
Okay, so we got the good. This down here. And then what I can do, I can get that Interference Red, just a little bit. Let's give it more of a red tinge. Just using my finger, pushing it in a little bit.
Why?
Just a little bit.
Why?
And then I'm going to take a little bit of the dark blue.
Why?
This Interference Red is 670 for PearlEx. All my interferences are PearlEx. I'm going to be getting a list put together of these colors
Why?
for the video afterwards.
Why?
Okay, what do we got there?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me get that blue. Layering colors. I need Interference Silver. That would be pretty cool. Okay. Not exactly what I wanted to do. Still, it came out pretty nice. Like it's the idea. So one thing I have learned when it comes to doing clay work and crafting and any kind of art type of stuff, if it doesn't come out right, exactly how, well, right, by rights, so let me rephrase that. By right, I mean exactly how you want it. So let's say you're making something and all of a sudden it's not what you want, not exactly what you want. It's okay. The reason why it's okay is as long as it kind of looks like what you want, you can just say, oh no, it's like an inspiration of this. You know what I mean? So this right here is inspired by a galaxy. So this is my take on what it could look like. You know, it's an artistic interpretation of whatever you want. So while it's not perfect, it still kind of looks pretty cool. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take one of my tools. I'm going to cut around here, and we're going to do that fold. And we followed it a little bit better this time. And don't forget, even if this is not folding over the way you want, it's quite okay, because you can always add that extra layer underneath. And then you take your tissue blade, and you very carefully push under here. The neat thing is, the tissue blade usually brings up all the clay. With a design like this, I want to keep this right where it is. I really like the placement of it. So we're going to try to fold it over, not too heavy. There we go. Not too heavy. Oh, it's going to peel off anyway. That's okay. It's quite okay. So we're going to run a piece of the machine. We're going to make it stay. There we go. I might do that anyway. Okay. I'm going to hold it down like this so you guys can't see it yet. Give me a second. Let me throw a piece through. I'm going to use a 9 setting this time. I think it's very pretty also. It's an artistic interpretation of the Galaxy using polymer, clay, and mica powder. I am not professionally trained by any chance. I just like the way something looks, and then I try it. That looks really cool. This is huge. This is about 2 inches. So I don't know what I would put it on. The way you bake clay, well, Sculpey Premo specifically, is baked at 275 for half an hour for every 1/4 inch of clay. I would put this in the oven for an hour. Because it's glass, I would put it in and then let it go with a cold oven and then go from there. So it'd probably be in the oven from start to finish about 2 hours, just in case, because I would rather bake it for too long. There's no such thing as too long, so I would rather bake it for longer than bake it for not long enough. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm dealing with the bubbles underneath. There we go, because it is glass. Okay, so once everything's here, go ahead, you can smush it around. Nice about a big piece like this. It's a little more to work with. I covered the whole thing, and I'm still feeling a little, okay, that's because of the mica powder. Go ahead and take a blade.
It's a blade.
Go like this. Now this would be really pretty as a necklace, a keychain, anything like that really. Giant earrings. Giant earrings. Okay. This is not staying on the way I want it. So I'm going to give it a little bit more push. By the way, if you do not get all the clay off, oh, it's a cute puppy. If you do not get all the clay off before you put it in the oven, that's perfectly fine. Oh, this did make a mess. So I'm going to go ahead and do this again. A second. Just throw. Oh, I'm just having the worst time with this today. Oofa. Oofa is just a word I use. So I'm going to go ahead and try this again. Just want it to stay on. Okay. This thing's, because it's so big, it's having an issue with the clay, I think, with the mica powder. So I'm trying to get it to stay on. Okay, that's better. So I'm going to make it nicer looking by pushing it off a little bit. That's the part that doesn't want to stay. So we're going to have to worry about having the black clay around the sides, which is fine, where there is no mica powder. You can have as much as you want or as little. Remember, you can always design around it and have it just be the piece that you want. As soon as I do this, I'm going to show you guys. This actually came out really, really cool. It moved a little bit more than I wanted. But that's, once again, it's also okay. So let me go ahead, get this cleaned up, and then I'll show you guys. Apparently I lost my whole little toilet. Whole roll of paper towels. I do not like using paper towels in my house. I prefer none, but in this case I needed it. Don't touch anything, please. Okay. Make sure.
I don't want this one.
You're not playing with any other tools, please. I apologize again. What I'm doing right now is I'm wiping it off. I'm trying not to show you guys. Okay, ready? So, all that work, and you have this. again, I would use smaller dots, more dots. I would try to do a little bit more centering right there. But I think it came out really cool. And the reason why you see that white move around with it is because of the cabochon, which is pretty cool. There we go. We did a big one, did a medium one. And that's how you do that. That's it. Just find a picture that you like, use some mica powder, and this is how you do a Galaxy Cabochon using white acrylic paint and mica powder. So when I go ahead and bake something like this, I would put it on the tile and I would put it in the oven. I would bake them all together. Do have 3.
I don't want the yellow.
I really like the dots on this one. If I could, I would have smaller stars than I did on something like this. Now, if you want to personalize, like really, like let's say for instance you want to do a gift for somebody, what you can do is you can find out what constellation, what the shapes of the constellation are. Okay, and let's say for instance you know somebody who's a Taurus. You can go and find out their birthday, and well, obviously you would know it would be a Taurus. So you would look up the constellation for what a Taurus is, and then you would go ahead and do the dots in the shape of the Taurus constellation, and then you would go ahead and do the galaxy in the back of it using their favorite colors. For example, my husband loves purple, so I would do a cabochon like this with white, blue, and purple. And my best friend likes purple also, so I would do probably a couple different colors of purple, definitely with the blue, and definitely doing the Taurus symbol for something like that. So this is fully customizable, whatever color you want. I saw a picture of, honestly, I think it's a galaxy, and then it's supposed to be yellow and orange in the middle, and then a ring of spread out kind of like Jupiter kind of around it. And I kind of got the idea for it with it. It's not perfect, obviously, for me anyway, but I love it anyway. And let's say, for instance, you don't like the stars being just dots. They don't have to be. You know, you can do, I think dot stars are the easiest. So if you were to do, oh, this one is still, I haven't done anything with this one. Well, you could, I'm not sure if you want to do red for galaxy. I mean, I could. You can do anything. There's no wrong way of doing something like this unless you're telling people that this is specifically what you're doing. So let's say you want to do a different kind of star. And no, I obviously did not make the one that we were going to make. But it's okay, because I already had one made. So when you take your dots, you can just do a dot, right? And then you can just line it. Oops. That's not what I mean. So you do a dot, and then you put a line through it. You can do the X's for dots. You can do dot, then line through. You know what I mean? You can do whatever you want for dots. You can make bigger dots, and then have like lines through it to make it look like they're far away. Or so you can do whatever you want. It doesn't have to look like whatever you want, and that's the best part about doing stuff like this. Yeah, Red's really bad. Well, Red Dwarf is a great TV show. Very, very, very good TV show. So that's it. So thank you very much for joining me tonight in my very first Saturday Night Live tutorial, where we went ahead and figured out how to make one of these gorgeous glass cabochons. I will have a item list of things that I used tonight on the YouTube video. They'll actually be included in the description. So please subscribe, and then you'll be able to see it right there. So, well, thank you very much for joining me tonight. As always,
Bye.
I look forward to creating with you, and I'll see you next time.
Bye.
As soon as I can find the off button.
I have this one.
Okay, there you go. Okay, thank you. Have a nice night.
I have this one. I like this one. I like this one, Mommy.